Welcome to Zwift Duathlon League Season Number 3, a 35-minute TT bike with a 10-minute transition followed by a 15-minute run. Get as far as you can in those time frames. Now, normally I wouldn't do too much in the Monday and Tuesday leading up into this normal Wednesday night duathlon, but that kind of changed this week. So I thought I'd give you a little bonus coverage of those activities. First up was the Adidas Global Cycling Series. This is more of a group ride. It's not really a race, but in a lot of these group rides, people do race them. A friend of mine was doing this one, and I told her I would ride it with her, so I spent most of this group ride pretty much at a Zone 1, Zone 2 effort, so I wasn't really pushing her or anything like that. But there were times I would drop back to give her a wheel to pull her back up to whatever group we were riding in. I did do a couple of sprints in this event. When we got close to the end and I noticed other people sprinting, then I would take off just because I wanted to be part of the group. Didn't really want to do those. I wanted to save my legs, didn't want to stress my legs out too much before the duathlon, but it is what it is. Next up was a meetup ride. It was put on by a employee at our local Trek bike shop, and I don't tend to skip these. I like these kind of events. This is actually the guy who sold me my Saris trainer, my H3 trainer, so I was definitely going to be part of this group ride. I was looking forward to it anyway. But this was my second ride on Monday, and it was going to be about an hour-long ride, so I wasn't sure what kind of paces we were going to be running, but I was going to be okay with whatever we did. He said we were going to race the last lap of the ride, and I kind of took off at the timer. I thought we were racing to the timer, but we were actually racing to the end of the lap that we were on. So I kind of sprinted out of nowhere, and then once the timer ended, I kind of started coasting, and they just zoomed right on by me, headed for the finish line of this particular lap. So, oh well, I'll get them next time. Next up was a TT race put on by Matt, who was affiliated with that same Trek bicycle shop. Actually, this race is the reason why I actually chose Zwift as a platform over Rovi. Back when I was deciding between Zwift and Ruby, Matt was holding these TT races on Tuesdays, and a bunch of my friends were already on Zwift, so I chose Zwift as the platform. Now, I knew I was racing the next day, and this was a TT. It was kind of short. It was only about 14K, so I knew if I stayed within myself that I probably wouldn't do much damage to my legs and be okay. But I was really trying to decide whether just to take it easy or to actually race the TT. We had the choice of taking it easy or racing. And for some odd reason, when this thing started, I was still sitting on the grid waiting for the timer to end, and I saw this guy zooming across. So they were already going, and I'm waiting on the timer to allow me to go. So it was at that point I had carrots. I had carrots to chase in this TT, and that just got me going. So at that point, it became a race. It was not just going to be pedal through it. However, I still decided I wasn't going to push hard. I was still going to stay within myself. I was going to keep it right around, somewhere around 4 watts per kilogram, and just stay within myself until I caught anybody that I needed to catch. It took me just a little over a minute to catch the first Matt, and it just so happened that both the guys in front of me were named Matt. I caught the first Matt. His handle is Fat Guy to Try Guy. Love that handle. And then I set sail after the second Matt. Me about 5 minutes to catch him, and after I passed him, I was trying to decide whether I should just slow down and just take it easy or just stay on pace. But my legs felt good, so I decided to just stay on pace to see how I do. Towards the end, I did kind of take my foot off the gas a little bit, dropped it down to around about a 3.5 watt average, and I ended up finishing the event first with a 4 watt average at about 365 watts. So I was happy about that, and I was ready to go into my next ride. The next ride was the USMES weekly warm-ups ride. This is a ride that I've been doing for a little over a month now. I do it every Tuesday night. I've been using this race for, well, not really a race, it's a group ride for recoveries because they generally stay at around about 2 watts per kilogram. So that's just slightly under my recovery pace, and I enjoyed this race a lot. It's got a lot of great people in it, and when I first started doing it, I would do sprints. I would use it to do sprints, but now I use it since I started the Duathlon League strictly for recovery, just to get some spinning on the legs and to loosen up the muscles and get me going. So, other than a little saddle soreness, I should be okay going into Duathlon with these 4 races preceding my event. So, this is it. Race number 6, the final race of the series. It's going to take place in Watopia, with the right course being on the Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop, and the run course being on the Serpentine 8. For the most part, the bike course is fairly flat. However, there is one nice hill on it that will test the legs, but I think I'm ready for it. It's been a long series, and I'm ready for this thing to be done. So let's get at this bike. I joined the event early so that I can go off the front of the grid instead of the back of the grid. Doesn't really matter because I'm not going to go out hard. I'm not going to push any red numbers or push myself into the red zone just to get a good start on this. I'm just going to do my normal, easy start. I'm going to pace myself and get into my ride nice and easy without any difficulties. Okay, I got a great start. I'm feeling good. Didn't push into the red. Got a nice, subtle, easy, controlled start. No issues at all. Looking like I'm ready to go and finish off this 35-minute bike. One of the things that I wished I'd had by now is a set of disc wheels to put on the bike. You have to be at a level 35 to purchase disc wheels, and I didn't quite make it. I was hoping that I'd have have made it to that level 35, in order to get the disc for this series, but I didn't quite make it. So right now I'm just gonna go with the Zip 808s that I have on the bike. They perform well, but I'm sure I'd have saved a couple of watts had I been on a set of discs. But it is what it is. I do the best I can with what I have, and I'm doing quite well. So normally right around at about this point, I would just skip us towards the end of the bike ride just to get us over it and not have to play through the whole 35 minutes. But in my last video, for the run, I just sped the video up and played a little music while that happened. So I'll do the same thing for this video. So let's speed up towards the end. Okay, there's about 40 seconds left to go in this ride, and I'm sitting in fifth place. You might have seen that I made it up to fourth place, and then got dropped back down to fifth, and went back up to fourth, then dropped down to fifth again. I decided I did not want to chase that guy. No need in it. Save my legs for the run. No point in doing any damage at this point. It was going to be my last run in the series, and I had plans on it being my best. So I just let that guy go, did my thing to get through the end of this ride. And with that being said, the ride is done. Finished. Legs are feeling okay, ready to move on to the run. I got some water in me. I got some gel in me. I got a little bit of stretching done. All I'm doing is walking for this warm up. Walk, stop the treadmill, did some stretches, stretch the hamstrings, stretch the calves, then did some more walking. So, not too much of a major warm up going to this, but I'm going to start off with a hot pace and I'm only going to build on that. No going slow at all. Okay, I had a brief little dip in speed there during the first half K, but now I'm right where I want to be, and I'm just going to build on my pace from here. But I'm not going to show, obviously, I'm not going to show the whole 15-minute run. I'm going to speed it up as I've done in the last part, and we'll pick it back up towards the end. 40 seconds. 40 seconds left in the run. 40 seconds left in the series. And I'm feeling good. The legs feel good. My heart rate isn't elevated. I'm just going to bring this home strong and get my age group win. I have no problem saying that right now because I know I got it. But the biggest question will be, will I move up into the top 10 overall? That was my goal for this season, was to finish in the top 10 overall, and I think I should be able to do it, and this run will get me there. And just like that, this duathlon is done and dusted. This series is done and dusted. Now it's just pretty much a waiting game. There's two more zones that have to go after this to see where people fall, And after I get the results, I will post them. And through the magic of editing, here they are, folks. The final results. First place in age group with my best run of the whole series. And 8th place overall for the round. That matches my 8th place finish from last week. 2 straight weeks. I'll take it. And there it is, folks. 9th place overall in the series. First time top 10er in the overall series of the Duathlon League. I feel that sense of accomplishment. I came in with a goal and I achieved it. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for watching my videos. Have a good one, peeps.